In this activity, Polar 3, we're going to review how different parameters can change a function. So we're going to start with a function that we're very familiar with, a sine curve, and then compare how the parameters of some different polar functions will impact those graphs. So a review of a sine bx minus c plus d. Here's two periods of sine. We know that the a value will change a couple things. The absolute value of A is the amplitude, so they'll affect kind of its height or how tall it is. And the sign of A, so positive or negative, will determine whether it's been reflected across its midline or not. We know that the period of the function is determined by this B value. So the period is always 2 pi over the absolute value of B. C is always the phase shift to the right or left, depending on whether we're subtracting or adding. And D is going to change a vertical shift. It'll change where our midline is, moving it up or down. Of course, you know all these things, just a recap. But we call these constants A, B, C, and D parameters. To understand how changes in a particular parameter affect the original graph, it's helpful to hold any other parameters in the function constant while changing the others. So you're familiar with that probably. We could make sliders, changing things one at a time to see what effect each one has. So in what follows, we're going to investigate the way of changing various parameters on some basic polar curves, and we're going to learn about some very important types of polar functions. So I hope you enjoy and have a great lesson.